Mr. Mueller, the greatest prosecutor since yesterday, has indicted 13 Russians for trying to interfere with the election. He's going to show Putin and the Russians. Oh, not only that. He says they tried to interfere with our election. Who knew? Did anybody know that? Oh, yes. First they were promoting Bernie Sanders, then they promoted Trump, then they campaigned against Trump. No collusion yet. We're still investigating. No collusion. Still investigating. But we got the Russians. Can I ask you another one of Mark Levin's questions? How were they able to track down the specific names of the Russians, but they couldn't track down this guy Cruz? Can somebody tell me that? This guy Cruz is in America. He's known to everybody. He's known to be a nut job. But they couldn't find him in September. YouTube knew where he was, but the FBI couldn't find him. Well, we didn't know if he had an alias. We didn't know if he, we didn't know if he, genitalia changed. We don't know anything. But the Russians we got. So they indicted. You know what they indicted? 13 trolls. My understanding is they operate out of Russia. 13 trolls who operate out of Russia. But we indicted them. You see that? Okay. Now what? Mark, what do you mean now what? Well, now what? They're in Russia. How are you going to get jurisdiction over them? What? I said, how are you going to get jurisdiction over them? Wow. What? They indicted 3 clowns who are clearly working for the Russian government to try and undermine our election, who are trolls, who no doubt operate on government-issued computers, doing what the Russian government tells them to do. They're indicted. We will never get our hands on them. They'll never wind up in American court unless they're here now, and I don't believe they are. You know what happened today? A press release. That's what it was. A press release. Oh, Mark, this is justice. We've got to stand. No, it's not. It's a press release. I want you to hear this Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, who is fronting for Mueller. That's clear now. On the spectacular news today that they've indicted 13 Russians. 13 trolls. Now, if you're going to indict Vladimir Putin, now you'll get my attention. Vladimir Putin, I know they're after Trump. They keep leaking. We're still investigating Trump, says an anonymous source with knowledge about the investigation. That would be a leak out of course, Mueller's office. We're still looking at obstruction of justice. But look, we got these 13 Russians. And by the way, we're flipping this guy Gates. Who's Gates? I don't know, but we're flipping him. He's going to tell us everything there is to know. About what? I'll be right back.
Mark Levin Show, the pool feed for the conservative media. Dive in now. 877-381-3811.
No offense, but why listen to all the rest of them? Seriously. You can go shopping, have a light lunch, get up a little later, and just wait for my show. I'll figure it all out. No brag, just fact. The Democrats, the media, the progressives, they used to love the old Soviet Union and the Russians. They've defended the Rosenbergs. Remember that? When the Russians stole our atomic secrets? Oh, yeah. Alger Hiss. Oh, they defended Alger Hiss. Probably the highest Russian spy in history, was advising FDR. And they hated Nixon and Whittaker Chambers for exposing him, and, of course, Joe McCarthy. Even after all that, the Democrats and the media loved the Soviets. They loved the Russians. Now, you talk about collusion. Ted Kennedy actually colluded with the Russian government to try and defeat Ronald Reagan's second term for election. No special counsel at the time. And the Democrats not only loved the Soviets, they were relying on the Soviets to help them defeat Ronald Reagan. You won't hear one word of this in the media today. Not one word. Instead, you'll hear about, wow, we indicted 13 Russian trolls in Russia. Wow, what a breakthrough. Ladies and gentlemen, did you know that Russia's our enemy? No. Did you know that since the 1917 revolution, Russia has been trying to defeat America? No. Say it ain't so. It's true. Do you know today as I speak, they have massive nuclear missiles aimed at our cities? Yes, they do. Why do they do that? Because they hate us. That's why. They want to defeat us one way or another. But don't worry. Robert Mueller indicted 13 trolls. And you really should read the indictment. I'm reading here on National Review, our friend David French. It's absolutely unbelievable what they were trying to do to us. They're always trying to do this to us. This is why I've never embraced the Code Pink Republicans. It's idiotic. Putin's not our friend. He's our enemy. Now, having said that, this is a clown show. An absolute clown show. The very fact that Putin and his surrogates have created all this tumult in America is evidence that the clowns in the media and some at the highest levels of the FBI have fallen for the whole shtick. Oh, Trump and collusion. The fact that Hillary Clinton and the DNC went to the Russians through their go-betweens to come up with this dossier. That's the point. The Democrats always go to the Russians while pretending to have be opposed to them. Yes, Rod Rosenstein had a press conference today. In fact, he wouldn't shut the hell up. He was going on and on. Look what we've done here. We've tracked down these trolls. Now, we couldn't track down Cruz. We didn't have enough information. We had to, we knew he was in Florida, but we didn't know if he used an alias. We didn't know this. We didn't know that. And we missed our protocol. But we got the Russians. Got the Russians. And a leak out of Mueller's office assures us we're still trying to take Trump down. On obstruction. Obstruction of what? Well, this guy Gates. We're flipping these guys left and right. Cut one, go.
The indictment charges 13 Russian nationals and 3 Russian companies for committing federal crimes while seeking to interfere in the United States political system.
Do you realize how stupid this is? Like this is going to get us anywhere? By the way, are they indicting Obama and the Democrat Party for interfering in the Israeli election of Netanyahu? I'm just curious about that. What are you talking about, Mark? Go ahead.
Including the 2016 presidential election. The defendants allegedly conducted what they called information warfare against the United States.
No way! The Russians? They did what? Is anybody aware of Communist Party USA? You know their mouthpiece. I mean, I could go on and on and on about it. It's been going on for decades and decades. But now we got them. We got them where we want them, in Russia. Go ahead.
The stated goal of spreading distrust towards the candidates and the political system in general.
By the way, isn't this where Bernie Sanders had his honeymoon in Moscow? Go ahead.
The allegations in the indictment, 12 of the individual defendants worked at various times for a company called Internet Research Agency, LLC, a Russian company based in St. Petersburg.
Oh, St. Petersburg, the long arm of justice. That's not St. Petersburg, Florida, right? That's St. Petersburg, Russia. The long arm of justice. We're going to reach into St. Petersburg, drag these trolls out, and do what? Nothing. Go ahead.
Individual defendant, Yevgeny Viktorovich Prigozhin,
Hate
funded
that guy.
the conspiracy through companies known as Concord Management and Consulting, LLC, Concord Catering, and many affiliates and subsidiaries. The conspiracy was part of a larger operation called Project Lakta. Project Lakta included multiple components.
Did you say Project Lakta? Now I'm getting hungry. It's a lakta? A potato lakta? By the way, under whom did all this occur? Under whom did all this occur? FBI Director Comey? Attorney General Loretta Lynch? President Barack Milhouse Obama. It's true. Go ahead.
Domestic audiences within the Russian Federation and others targeting foreign audiences in multiple countries. Internet Research Agency allegedly operated through Russian shell companies. It employed hundreds of people in its online operations, ranging from creators of fictitious personas.
By the way, this has surprised anybody. This surprised me in the least. How many times have I myself said, of course the Russians tried to interfere with our election, and we ought to fight back through cyber warfare. This is a joke. Hey, guess what? Our grand jury indicted 13 trolls over there in St. Petersburg, Russia. Yeah, that Mueller, man. He's got, look at that. And he's got a false statements plea and another false statements plea. And he's got Manafort on stuff that occurred years and years ago. Gates too, but he's flipping Gates. How do we know? Because his office is leaking. But don't worry. We're going to get Trump on obstruction, you see. How dare President Trump dare think that he's in charge of the executive branch? That cannot be. Go ahead.
And administrative support personnel with an annual budget of millions of dollars. Internet Research Agency was a structured organization headed by a management group and arranged into departments, including graphics, search engine optimization.
This is so stupid. It's so stupid. It's beyond belief. Wait a minute. They had a graphics department? You mean they were on social media? You mean they were trying to influence our election? Yes. I mean, you would swear that this press conference was a Saturday Night Live skit? And we would marvel how Rosenstein, the actor, could speak without breaking into laughter. Go ahead. Go to the next one.
In order to hide the Russian origins of their activities, the defendants allegedly purchased space on computer servers located here in the United States in order to set up a virtual private network. The defendants allegedly used that infrastructure to establish hundreds of accounts on social media networks such as Facebook, Instagram.
Now listen, look how they have all the intricate details of the trolls. They got the shell company, they did this, they used fake names, and this guy funded this and this. Hey, this guy Nick Cruz, he's on YouTube, and he's saying he's a professional school shooter. Well, we can't find him. We can't find him. Maybe he's using an alias. I don't know. Maybe he's using an alias. I don't know. January 5th. Hey, this guy Cruz, I know this guy. He's going to kill people. He says he's going to go into a school and shoot people. He's got a lot of... Hey, we didn't follow our protocol. I'm sorry, didn't follow protocol. But we got the Russians. We got the Russians. You don't have the Russians. They're not here. You just issued indictments of people you can't bring to justice. And all the clowns in the media have their head bobbles going up and down. Oh, yep, that's right, yep. But don't worry, we're still investigating obstruction of Trump. Yep. That would be the same Trump who's responsible for the killing in Florida because he withdrew an Obama regulation. Yep, that one, yep.